Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today we're going to talk about Ethereum and looking at its valuation against USD and against Bitcoin in lieu of the 20-week and 50-week moving averages of Bitcoin. So if you guys like the content, please subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also check out the Telegram channel, which you could find a link to in the description below. Well, let's go ahead and jump in. So this is just the valuation of Ethereum against USD, right? Business as usual, nothing too crazy. It's what we've seen 1,000 times. But things become more interesting when you start color coding it based on what Bitcoin's doing. And one of the things we've done before is to color code it based on whether Bitcoin is either above or below the 20-week moving average, okay? So we've noted many times that when Bitcoin gets above the 20-week, Ethereum tends to do quite well. Of course, there are times where the price goes down, but generally speaking, as long as it's holding the 20-week, as long as Bitcoin's holding the 20-week, the Ethereum valuation is moving up. Okay, here's another time where it moved up, and it did come back down, but it ended it higher than where it started it. Here's another point, it went up, and we've continued to speculate every time that it goes up, even all the way, even back over here, that when it does go up, when Bitcoin gets above the 20-week, Ethereum will likely move up itself. And again, we've seen that, right? It's a more slower and methodical move up, but it's still trending upwards. Now, if you plot the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio, it tells a similar story as we've noted before, but not identical. One of the ones we've noticed is that, well, when it gets above the 20-week, it actually can dump first a bit against Bitcoin. And we've noticed this before. One of the reasons is because when Bitcoin is given Bitcoin's proximity to the 20-week, when that happens, Bitcoin tends to be the main play when it crosses the 20-week, whether it's up or down. And when it first crosses the 20-week, you can see here, it went down. Recently, when it crossed the 20-week, in fact, it went down again before going up. So there are some similarities between what happened over here and what happened right here, albeit with the fact that we're seeing, at least so far, a diminished ROI against Bitcoin of Ethereum. But we've projected this all along, right? This is not novel. Like, this isn't taking us aback, or it's not taking us off guard. This is exactly what we said was probably going to happen, is that the return will not be as high as it was last cycle, and it doesn't mean that the ratio can't eventually get back to where it was. Remember, down here we were starting at a much lower ratio. It just means that it's going to take longer to move back up as quickly as it did last cycle. So this is the main point. And you can see that we have been slowly trending up for the valuation of Ethereum against Bitcoin. And this is, plotting it, whether color coding it based on whether Bitcoin is above or below its 20-week. You do note that there was one time where the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio bled even when Bitcoin was above the 20-week, and that was this one. And that was back in 2019. You could argue that, it was still part of a bear market / accumulation phase. But now, in 2020, for the most part, it seems like the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio is trending upwards. And I think that this will likely continue as long as Bitcoin just holds the 20-week moving average, right? So it's, of course, you can say if Bitcoin holds the 20-week, Ethereum will likely do well against USD over a long period of time, because if Bitcoin's holding the 20-week, it means that the price is probably slowly moving up at the very least. And if Bitcoin's slowly moving up, then at some point Ethereum will move up as well, most likely. But the point of this one, right, is to say that it's not only going to move up against USD, but there's a good chance that it would move up against Bitcoin. Now, if you plot it when Bitcoin is above the 20-week and the 50-week, or you color code it base blue if it's below either one, it looks a little bit more interesting, because now you see that the minute Bitcoin was above the 20-week and the 50-week, this was when the Ethereum price started shooting up, right? So we see it here, we see it here, we see it here, and we sort of see it here, but not quite to the same extent. Okay, but the general idea is that when Bitcoin was above both of these moving averages, the valuation of Ethereum started taking off in the relative short term. Now, if you plot it against Bitcoin and you say, okay, well, what happens when Bitcoin is above its 20-week and its 50-week? Here you can see, okay, well, once that happened, the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio just immediately took off. And then it did dip back down for a little bit before going up even further. But it is a slightly different metric to consider. Here, it went up fairly significantly as well. And then here, it dipped first and then went up. But more or less, every time Bitcoin gets above both of them, it doesn't take that long before the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio starts trending upwards, except for the except for in 2019 where in fact it bled. But again, my contention for that one is that we were really not gearing up for a new bull market at the time, and we weren't. I mean, we even had another capitulation back down to $3,800 or so for the price of Bitcoin. So looking back on it, of course, hindsight's 2020. But again, this does seem like a fairly attractive trend. We recognize that the cycles are likely lengthening and the ROI will likely go down, but it doesn't mean we can't leverage this information to make informed decisions going forward. So if you guys like the content, please subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up. Also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. And if you guys do like the content and want access to the premium list, you can check that out at intothe.cryptoverse.com. You get access to a weekly report, a weekly premium video, a private Telegram alerts channel, a private Telegram chat room, and a risk dashboard, which is what I use to trade. So let me know what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel. I hit my goal. I was trying to get to 40,000 subscribers this year. Maybe we can make it to 50. I am somewhat pessimistic about getting there, but you never know. So that'll wrap it up for the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you next time. Bye.